Hello, everybody, and thank you very much for taking a few minutes to check out Lightspeed's Introduction to the Level Dashboard. My name is David Marlar. I am the Vice President of Sales and Marketing for Lightspeed, and I really appreciate you taking a couple minutes to check out this very quick intro to what the Level Dashboard looks like and what the data that you would get from using this particular product on a daily basis. We're going to jump right into it and try to keep this as brief as possible. The idea is to just, again, give you a quick overview without spending a whole bunch of your time today. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in this and talk about what you're seeing and what each one of these boxes means. So the first thing I want to point out is how we use color for level one. You'll see three colors on your screen. You'll see green, green, orange, and red. Obviously, green's everything's fine. There's nothing there that you need to worry about. Orange indicates that there's something that's not quite right, and you probably need to take a look at it because it's a warning. Red means you got a problem. You need to look at me, and let's address this problem right now. So as you very quickly log in and look at your dashboard every day, it'll use color to kind of tell you where you actually need to go first. So the first thing we're going to talk about is these inventory values up here. One thing to point out is that this is a test database. So some of the numbers up here may not look real to you because we use this particular database for some of the testing and QA. But in this case, we've got two branches. We're a little two-branch operator here. Our Suwanee branch has $40,422 worth of inventory. The Atlanta branch has $36,449. These numbers are in real time. You will come back throughout the day, refresh your screen, and those numbers will change based on what's going on with level, which kind of leads me into a very important point that you need to understand when you're looking at level is the idea behind a perpetual inventory. In order to give you real-time inventory values, the software was written to be able to accomplish exactly that. And when you're dealing with real-time inventory, there is no such thing as going back in history and changing an inventory number. Everything is done in real time. It's time and date stamped. And if you make a mistake, then you'll make another entry to fix that mistake, but there's no going back in time to actually change something. The most common occurrence of this is on the last day of the month when an operator or a customer wants to take inventory and the bringbacks from the drivers haven't come back yet, or they haven't come off the truck yet, or they haven't been counted yet, and they want to go back and add that product to their month-end inventory. Well, you can't go back in time and do that in level. You can make an updated inventory once that product comes back, but you can't go back in time to do that. And of course, depending on what day of the month the last day falls, once you get past the first month, it's really not that big of an issue because typically your bringbacks are fairly consistent. You don't see wide swings in the total bringbacks, and except for the year end or the fiscal year end. The month-end inventory is not as critical as it would be on the year-end. So the first box that we want to talk about is this one up here in the first left-hand corner, purchase orders due, and then the box right below it is receipts to commit. And we want to talk about these two boxes together because they kind of go hand in hand. So the first one is telling you that you've got 3 purchase orders that should have been delivered by now. They were ordered on March the 20th. They were due in on March the 21st, and you've not received them. Level allows an operator to separate the receiving process into 2 distinct steps. One is receiving, and one is committing. So the receiving part is you get your Vistar order in, you're running out of product on the line, and you want to go ahead and release that product to inventory. So when you receive a purchase order, the quantities automatically get added to the actual inventory that's on hand. Then the second step of this two-step process is a second person going in to actually confirm that the pricing is correct, and they commit that inventory. And when they commit it, it's been released to actually be paid. It's one of those situations where you can allow a warehouse person to receive the product because they can count it in, and then you could have an accounting person actually go in and confirm that the pricing is correct. So we do separate that step or that process into two different steps to give you an additional checkpoint, if you will, to make sure you're not overpaying for product. The next box we're going to look at is transfers to commit. Definition for level: anytime a product leaves level, it's considered a transfer. Whether it is a item that was picked through Lightspeed, if it was a driver spoiling product out of a micro market or a driver spoiling product out of a vending machine, if it was a salesperson who's coming in to go work a local trade show or a local event where they need product to give away, or whether you are donating a pallet of water to a local charity, anything that moves product out of Lightspeed is considered a transfer. Same process applies to transfer. Someone can generate the transfer, and once the transfer gets generated, the product gets removed from inventory, and then somebody else has to come in and actually commit it, which means the price is correct or the quantity is correct, and just give a second set of eyes on it to make sure that yes, you do in fact want to make that permanent. Because once you've committed it, it can no longer be edited or changed, and you can't go back in time to change it. The fourth box we're going to talk about is the schedule for today. This is really just a quick reminder when you set up your purchase order templates, which will be covered in another episode. You'll be able to see what's scheduled for today. So if you place your Vistar order every Tuesday for Friday delivery, or every Wednesday for Monday delivery, whatever your purchase order templates, the days that you have to place them with your vendors, you would do it here. It actually would show up here as a reminder. The third column, this transfer summaries. This is a recap of all of the activity that's going on throughout the day. The first one is the Lightspeed activity. So as I mentioned before, because this is real time, if you're actively picking and you come back and you refresh the screen, you'll see the actual items. The inventory values will change, and you'll see the transfer summaries increase. The transfer summaries and receipt summaries, again, are basically just summarizing everything that's happened. So anything that had to be transferred outside of a Lightspeed pick would be listed here, and all of the products that got committed to receipt would also be listed here. And then the two boxes over here in the corner, on the far right hand side, to me are the two most important ones that we can offer an operator, because these are the ones that will tell you you've either about to have a problem or you do have a problem. So the warnings box will give you three particular data points. One, QOH is quantity on hand, QTP is quantity to par, and QOO is quantity on order. So this will tell you that you've got product on hand that is below your established par levels. And again, as it stands right now, the operator will establish what those par levels are. And then it will show you if you have any product on order to cover it. So, for example, with the 2% chocolate milk, we don't have any on hand. We need 18 units to get the par, and we've got 18 on order. So that's fine. But if you look at the Diet Coke, we've got, well, okay, so those numbers are wrong because those are obviously negatives. Like I told you, this was a test database, so that's a bad example. But if we had 132 Diet Coke on hand and we needed 500 to get to par, and we had none on order, that would be our warning that we need to place an order for Diet Coke. And then down here, shortages, this is where you got problems. So in this case, we've had hamburgers that actually got picked that left the building when we didn't have any in inventory to actually pick it. So either the inventory was off, we received product but didn't actually, we got product in the building but we didn't receive it. Somebody mispicked something that what they weren't supposed to pick. This is where a lot of our customers start with their cycle counts. A really significant number of customers currently using Level don't do monthly inventories. They use cycle counts instead. A cycle count is a partial inventory of a specific product. The average seems to be 10 to 15 SKUs per day that they will sit down and do cycle counts on. But this has gotten to the point where Their cycle counts are accurate to the point that they feel like they don't have to do monthly inventories, that they'll do it either on a quarterly basis or a semi-annual basis. And of course, they'll do it at the end of the year or end of their fiscal year. So these are the two boxes over here that will give you the quickest, fastest visibility when you've got problems in your warehouse. And that kind of concludes a very quick overview of what the level dashboard does. If you have any additional questions or if you want to reach out for additional information, you can go to our website, lightspeedautomation.com, or you can actually go and email me. In fact, I will give you a real quick demonstration or just give you a very fast look at where you can go find more information. So this is our website. So if we come over here to Business Solutions and just simply go down here to Level, you'll see this is a video down here that was shot at Imperial. It's a really good 8-minute, 9-minute video that talks in detail about how they use it and how they've been able to successfully reduce their overall inventory in their building. So again, thanks very much for taking the time to check this out. You can reach me at dmarler, that's D-M-A-R-L-E-R, at lightspeedautomation.com. Appreciate your time today. Thanks very much.